Hey, well, we're back on the bridge project. This spring's been pretty uncooperative. We had a very cold April. Very wet. It was hard to get out here and work. And June we've had some extremely hot weather. It just makes it too difficult for an old man to get out here and work when it's 97 degrees with high humidity. I've gotten a little bit done. We're really now going to start making some progress. I've cleared the way here for our pathway from the back gate to the bridge. And the next step that I have going here is to put the final structural coat on the uprights and the horizontal railings. This will thicken things, and to do that, of course, we had to put on layers of chicken wire on everything. I'll try to show you that. We just wrap chicken wire around all these posts, and of course the railings. All the main horizontals have chicken wire on them. And now what we're doing is over that we're putting a coat of concrete, and that's what we have here. This still has one more layer to go. And once we get the structural coats done, then we'll be making the steps and the planks, and then starting from the top down we'll be doing the decorative finish coats. Right on this end, this has had the final structural coat put on the uprights, and they're going to be made to look like trees. And part of the horizontals have been done with the final coats. It makes them just a little thicker. And the middle pieces, branches in between the top rail and the bottom rail, will be left that size. And here we see this has got final coat on it up to a certain point, and then it's still got to be coated. So that's what we're in the process of doing. All of this chicken wire now has to be covered with another layer of concrete. Okay, we started getting the stuff covered with the final structural coat. Making some progress, even in spite of the heat. It's been awfully hot lately. Okay, getting the steps prepped, put on. Got 11 of them to do. So what I've done is I've cut out expanded metal lath. The lath is 27 inches wide. That's a good width for our steps. Made these 9 inches deep. And what we're doing here, we're taking two 24-inch rebar. We'll wire it to each end of the metal lath. We just take some baling wire, we bend it in a U, and then we'll take these, we'll just put these on the edge, and we stick a piece of wire in here, and we fold them. So I just wire tie these rebar. Tight. Not too tight you bust them. And I take wires and I bend the ends over so we don't end up catching our hands on them and getting gouged. One more wires on each one. These are going to end up being the steps and the planks across the top of the bridge. Okay. City's going to drive me crazy today with that truck out there backing up all the time. They're over there repairing the street. Got that backup beeper going on that truck every time they move it. Beep, 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 beep. This is the 9th one, we got a couple more to go. This will be the bottom of the step. I'm going to coat this, each one of these then with concrete. We're going to let it harden. I'm going to do a finish coat on it. We'll try to do these so that it makes like a little rim around the edge that faces down. We'll finish this to look like wood. Even though they're going to be the bottom of the step, I'd like to have that finished, and it's not something you want to try to do when it's in place. So we'll finish that. We'll leave this unfinished. When we get out to the bridge, we'll put these in place. These supports on the bridge will be about here. We're going to put fender washers and Tapcon screws into the concrete supports underneath to fasten these to the bridge, and then we'll put a coat of concrete on top of this and finish it to look like wood, and that'll give us our steps and our planks. And getting these prepped for putting the steps in here. I laid these on the initial supports that I made, and I just don't feel comfortable. These will be attached here, but I don't feel comfortable with all this overhanging free space, so I've decided that I'll make some little stub branches sticking out, and we'll cover these with concrete, make these like branches, give that some extra support way out here on the ends, make me feel more comfortable. So to do that, I've attached pieces of expanded metal lath with concrete anchors and fender washers, and then we're going to cover these with concrete to make little supports. That's our next step. I've already done it on the other side. Okay, so this is the pathway approach to the bridge. I have now got railing added on that side, and I need a safety rail along here so the kids don't fall off the edge. And what I've done to do that, I've started by putting rebar and the concrete in the ground there and there. We'll add rebar connecting the two, and then cover it with chicken wire and concrete to make a rail, just as we've done over there. Also, where I added those pieces of metal, I now have extensions out to give support to the steps that are going to go on the bridge. Now, as far as the bridge deck goes, the problem I have right now is I've added a couple more supports on the sides. You can see there are now 4 supports. I need to make sure that those are all at exactly the same level. If you look under that board, you can see there's a space under that one board, so that second from the right is a little bit low. So what I've got to do is I'm going to make some markers with concrete to make the step or plank positions level across there, and then I can put the finishing coat on those pieces and make them look like logs, but they'll all be level on the top, so that the planks will be easy to walk on. Okay, here is a framework for one of the steps or planks. Just a piece of expanded metal lath, a couple rebar in it. What I did was I laid these where the planks are going to be, like so, and then I put a level on it to make sure that it would be level from one side to the other. And where there are low spots, I'm putting bits of concrete underneath to indicate what will make it level, and then I can get that stuff ready to finish up this deck and have everything nice and flat. So there's some concrete markers here. You can see on this right there, that makes that level with that piece, with that piece, and with that piece. So that's a level line across there now, and then we'll fill in between, round everything off, make them look like logs again. So I've got to do that for all of the 5 planks that'll go on the bridge deck. I'm also adding pieces of concrete to the where the steps are going to go, to give support all the way across, and then we'll end up finishing this. I've already started doing a little bit of texturing on this piece here, for example, to make it look like wood here, doing a little texturing. And what we'll do is we'll texture to get all the concrete leveled. We'll texture these parts on that the steps and bridge deck go on, and we'll stain them, and we'll attach the steps. We'll finish the steps and the planks, the decking, and after that's all done, then we can cover it with a tarp, and we'll begin finishing the railings. Then we can get back onto the other side, finish the rail over there, put in a path, and we should have our bridge getting close to completed. And it's going to take a lot of work, because it's going to take some time to texture all of this to make it look like wood. It's the middle of July, and kids will be coming over here toward the end of September. So I've got a couple of months yet, but I need to get this done so it's ready for the kids from the school to be able to walk across. Alright, these are the steps I'm going to be putting on the bridge. And what I want to do, this is going to be the bottom, and I want to finish the bottom before I put them on the bridge, because it's going to be awful hard to finish underneath once they're attached. So I want to actually completely finish, put a wood texture on it, and stain it. And I also need to leave this very thin so that I can put concrete anchors through it. So what I'm going to do, I could just try to coat this side and I tried that with one or two, and it pushes the concrete through to make such big bumps here that it really makes it too thick. So what I'm going to do is going to lay these on vinyl. I'm going to put a very thin coat on here where I'm going to be having to put the anchors through before I finish the back, actually the bottom. So we'll do that. Okay, this mix I've made up is a straight 3 sand to 1 cement with metakaolin, silica fume, and a little CSA in it so it sets up rather quickly. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on just the thickness of the mesh. It does have some PVA fiber in it. And since concrete won't stick to polyethylene, I just put a plastic bag underneath it, then just lift these right off. And that's all I need to do. That will keep this nice and thin. This is where the fasteners will go through, fasten them to the bridge. We'll let those dry, and we can flip them over, finish the bottom side of the step then, so that this will be relatively thin so we can get our fasteners through. Okay, mix up a batch of clay-like concrete. I showed how to mix this in a separate video. This is just a little bit on the soft side, so I'll let it sit here for just a few minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll start putting some edges on these steps. Take a little bit of this, flatten it out. What I'm going to do, these are real sharp edges here. I'm going to take this, put it on the sharp edge, fold it over. of clay. This is actually the bottom of the step. So eventually what we'll get is another layer on it that'll be textured to roughly look like wood. And I'm going to just put some light striations on the edge, like this will be Woodgrain. Pull heck of a lot with it. And then these are going to be end grain, so you want to take a brush, and end grain of wood always has a bunch of holes in it. These are from the vascular tissue that runs through the called xylem tubes. Okay, and that's it. We're going to let that sit. Just take what's left here, pick it up, stick it in a spot. Needed some clay. This is starting to get much stiffer now. You make one of these mixes and you can always just wet your glove and do that, re-knead it, and it makes it workable again. So we'll take that out and we'll put it where we can use it in the bridge. And the other side will be the top. That'll end up making this like a dish on the other side that we can fill after we set the steps in place. Let this set, some plastic over it. Keep moisture in it. Very high temperatures today. That's it. Alright, these are the bottoms of steps. And we're putting a little acrylic on them. We can put a thin layer on, texture them, look like wood, even though they'll be on the bottom. Up there. On the bridge deck, from the side, you can see the bottom somewhat, so I'll make sure that they're at least roughly finished. What? Hummingbird?
The one that looks like a squirrel with the red head.
Oh, okay, that's a house finch. The house finch. Go. You take a fork, and we can just drag the fork through there. take a piece of comb, run a little bit through here. Like so. Feather wire. And feather wire out of it, a little bit of this. Dull down some of those things. Crumbs will come off after it's dry. Good enough. Looks like wood. We're really going to put lots of detail in. We can do a big knot hole here, so we can go. So we can take our, see that showing up. We take our feather wire. And just let it drag. Make some green. Mess with this because it's not really going to be seen a whole lot. If somebody looks underneath, at least they'll see some kind of texture. And again, we'll just soften these lines just a tad. Come back later. And it goes down. Now let it dry. That's it. And the other. That's the bottom of the steps. They get stained and then they can be put upside down on the bridge, and then we'll finish the tops after they're fastened. Okay, I've started texturing to make this look like wood. With some knots and bumps and things in it. And work on that. And then we also have to work on these pieces up here. They can't just blend into one another. Got to make them look like they're constructed. Make some look like pegs and holes, and some that overlap, what have you. And this is also where I'm going to test out some commercial carving mix. See how that stuff works. Anyway, we'll starting the texturing coat.